Hello, once again my name is Jeff Wall. I am the lead developer and architect for TrackLinq BAS software. Today I was going to run over a overview of our site, our application, and give you a first-hand look of its capabilities and features. You can go to tracklinksoftware.com, click on the live demo link, and you'll see a link in there for our live demo, which will pop you over to our login page. At this point, you can see that we already have a username password already set for the demo. Simply type it in, let it process, and you'll be forwarded on to TrackLinq BAS. TrackLinq BAS is a full-featured tracking application that allows you to link and track all of your clients' data. TrackLinq BAS was not created for any specific industry. We left it open so that any industry can use TrackLinq BAS to track any company or any data your clients have, or you or yourself and your clients have. The purpose for TrackLinq was to be open-ended and allow you, basically, if you have a customers, which we all do, and you have issues, which we all do, TrackLinq we'll track all of those customer issues, everything down from who the customer is to ordering parts, managing RMAs, inventory, scheduling, their assets, customers, and tasks. Our first panel we see here is our TrackLinq BAS dispatch board, which is a list of our current open issues that we have within it. All this is dummy data, of course, and can be found at the live data site. You can log in and add your own if you'd like. Every important feature to know is that every record is linked. Our histories will all be linked via another record within it. So your main record for John Hopkins Eatery has a history listed of all the different records that he's or that company has posted through that data or through that record. Top list gives you an overall list, who is assigned to, the department in which it's assigned to, the current status, the equipment that was called in, and it says equipment. The field name is equipment, but it could be medicines you offer as a veterinarian, for all that matter. These fields can be changed and modified to fit your specific company and your industry in which you're in. And then we come into the details when we show that our record detail, the ID of the record when it was open, who it's assigned to, the department. This bottom panel is specific to details for every record that's listed in here. We also have the item serviced that's been shown for this particular record, which happens to be a trigger assembly, whatever that happens to be for it, and a quantity one was, and we've also got an ETA on it. Timestamps. Timestamps and work done are very important because with TrackLinq you can track your employees' time to get to the site, to be on site, what they did while they were on site, and they're also tied to specific labor codes. So a technician's labor code will be different than an engineer's labor code, which will reflect invoicing and billing later on in the process. The equipment listed can be multiple pieces of equipment. This particular instance only has one, but you can have an unlimited number of pieces of equipment listed in here. And of course you have their address and their contact name. Resolution and additional comments. There is no limit on how many comments and fields or comments you can add to the resolution comment fields. You can continue to add them all you want, and it'll keep a list of them here and scroll down as you add more and more to that. This is also a place where once the resolution of the actual ticket is done, then it'll show that you've resolved this ticket on this specific date. We also did an ability to search and filter records. Over here on our dispatch board records, we show that we can sort these records by all records by unassigned, which means it's going to pull up every ticket that's unassigned. This has not been addressed by any employee at this point. We can pull them up by company name. So if you want to pull up just tickets for a particular company, you can simply do that. This is a list that is dynamically created, meaning if a ticket is open in the system, then their name will be displayed in this list. So it's not going to give you a list of every client within your organization, because some clients may have no open issues. But it's dynamically shown. So as you open up more tickets, and you'll also notice things like First Star Bank will have more than one because they are at different locations within the First Star and the First Star company. We can also go by assigned. Once again, the assigned list is dynamic. This is shown by every employee that you have listed. Some of them have no tickets assigned. Some of them will have multiple tickets assigned. But the filters allow you to break down your tickets. So if Jen calls in and says, I need to work on this ticket, you have her list right there. You don't have to go out searching for it. You can also go by status. So any call that has been canceled in the past will be listed. Closed, need approval, open, which is all your open tickets. Nothing's been done with those. Parts on order, etc., etc. Department type and or by department. These are all dynamically filled too. As you create departments within the system administration functions, you can in turn these will show up on your list of different departments within your company, so you can create those on your own. And finally, by type, you can also simply search, go back, and if you have a ticket and they call in and they want 12235, for instance, you can simply search 12235, and there's your ticket. It's easily found within the list of everything that's there. That's an overview of the actual dispatch board itself. These individual tickets, like creating new tickets and what have you, we'll discuss those later in other videos, because the features, quite frankly, this needs to be a 10-minute video, not an hour and a half long where you get bored and hang up on me. In our task section, task or jobs, whatever your particular industry would prefer to call them, our tasks and jobs are issues that need to be resolved before a ticket can be opened, or before a ticket can be, or a record can be closed. Say you have an issue where you have a gentleman that needs to have something installed, but in order for you to install it, you need to go out and do some research for that, and they've opened up a record and said, we'd like for you to come out, we'd like for you to look at it, and you get out on the site and you say, well, I'm going to need these 3 things done. And tasks or jobs allow you to create and associate or link that task back to that ticket. Task can be, or to that record. Task can be individually opened as standalone. That's why you'll notice that some of the record IDs are 0. This means that this was a task created that if you just want a reminder of something that you need to do, you can open up a task that says, I need to do this at what time, and put your task information in there. Or you can dynamically link it to a record, and that's why some of them will show that they have record IDs listed here. Now, tasks can be as complicated or as easy as you would like. Individual tasks can have associated subtasks within them. So a task may need 5 steps to be done. We developed this application in order for you to either do them as you want. Some clients will never use associated tasks. Some will think that they're beneficial as can be, because then they can individualize, compartmentalize each task within that and show that they've finished these particular tasks. And you can come over here and view what that particular task has, its timestamps, what needs to be done on that task, etc. So a task or a job can have jobs associated with it, and can be either standalone or be also associated with a ticket. And again, if the task has information associated with it, ticket number, you'll see the details here. If it is a non-ticketed item, there will be no details down here, because there is no record that it is associated with. It is a standalone task. And of course, there's all the options that can go along in here to show What's your percentage done? That pop up, you can change your percentages. Again, that's too in depth for this particular video, as you know, this is a general overview. But as you change to that task, you can show that you're now 40% updated on that particular one. Our customer module. Our customer module is the core for your clients, your customers, and who calls in. Once again, we've made them easily sortable, and with TrackLinq, everything is subject to change, meaning we improve our customer flow, our process flow as we go through these. As you can see, you can sort by all your records. You can sort by just companies that start with A, companies start with B, companies start with C. So they're easy to find. If somebody calls you in and says, you know, I need to open up a ticket, and they say, well, I'm with Bob's whatever, you can literally type in B and pull up all the Bob's. You can go to your search box, type up Bob, and you'll get Bob's. And you can get right there. It's quick, it's fast. One of the goals was to make a database or an application that allowed dispatchers and customers, our clients, to be able to, to sort quickly through their data and get to the information they need. It's important to note that as I stated earlier, that all records, in order to find information, you must select something for the relational database to be able to find the information. You can't just come in here and click. If you do, except for that particular button, we'll talk about that later in another video. But if I come up here and I just try to add a new service address, the system's going to say, I'm sorry, but you need to select an item from the customer list to add, you know, a new service location. You can't just jump in there and add it. It needs to be linked back to this particular one, like with One Cablevision here as an example. And One Cablevision, you have within a customer list, we have our master list of the account, but they may have satellite offices to go along with that. And this particular one has multiple satellite addresses or locations to go along with them. And by selecting each one of these, you'll be able to separate your contacts listed at each one of those particular locations. So you know that Christy is at this location, West Cherry, and she's not located at the other ones. And again, the database is written so that Christy can be at both of them too. It just depends on how you want to put them in. We've tried to keep it open, so you'll be able to modify and use TrackLinq to fit your company's requirements, and not ours, which other applications tend to do. There's no limit on account status and notes. You can add as many as you'd like. Obviously, it's garbage data; doesn't pertain to anything within the company. But that's an overall, and again, we have a customer history, locations, and any contracts that would be associated with One Cablevision for their particular location. And again, all the other bells and whistles we will get back into, because we will be releasing videos specific to each feature within this. Asset management is a list of assets, whether they are your client's addresses or assets, or your location or your assets. They can also be sorted by the customer location, and that's what your ABC and D. There's not a lot of data in this particular feature within our demo database, but it breaks them down into the asset history. Anything that this machine or the serial number has been associated, any ticket that's been associated is listed, as well where it is, and any contracts, of course, located on it. And you can again add comments to that particular asset. It's useful for if you want to track everything within your organization. You can add all your assets within this database. If you want to track all the assets at a customer's contracted location, you can add them into this and sort by them and find them. And once you find them, you'll be able to click on a ticket or an asset, open up a service ticket from there, and go on there. It's just a different way of being able to find software quickly. Scheduling. Scheduling is tied in this particular database to our Gmail schedule. So if I update my Gmail schedule, the information will be shown here. Our scheduling module is subject to change and will be improving as we develop it further, allowing for you to be able to take a dispatch record and add it directly to the calendar. But it functions as Google Calendar does, and as I said, we will be developing our scheduling module or feature more later as we get farther along into it. Our next module is inventory. Inventory is your physical inventory that you have on hand, or things that you have ordered in the past and you may not, as this particular item has no quantities on hand, none on order. Inventories are important as far as where that item is located at. This particular item, we have a lot on order. Again, this is all garbage data, so the numbers may not add up when you're looking at them. But you can see that we've ordered X amount of parts listed, and it shows us where their location, all the bin locations, the location description, once again, are client configurable, so you can add them for all your trucks or all your buildings or all your offsite locations, and give them a location. And whether it's the main inventory in your 6 racks, your bins you have back in your inventory, or if it's out on a mobile truck, or if it's at a location, you can add those and they will dynamically show up in the list to be able to transfer items to that inventory and keep, so you know who has what, and be able to track all of their information. There's no history. I have to go through here and find them, but each one, and I know there's one in here. This makes for great video. Items show down here that this item has been used on this particular record, so it gives you a history of what that item was ordered for and where it went. It also contains, that current cost, average cost, last cost for that particular item. Orders and RMAs. This feature was set up to specifically companies. Some companies have specific people that are only allowed to do the ordering. Some companies are opened up and let anybody do the ordering. We're giving you the choice. You can set up their user rights to allow one of your technicians or employees or what have you be able to order their own parts, while you can lock down somebody else from being able to order their own parts at that point. The workflow of how this goes is something that will come out in our next video of opening up your first ticket, and then of course ordering, or your first record, and ordering parts. But it gives you a list of every item, and from here you can create your purchase orders. On this particular order, you can create a purchase order from these. Your statuses all get updated and changed. Your ETAs get updated on your dispatch record, so the technician knows that you've ordered it, what the ETA is of that part, following the process flow. But this gives you a list of everything that's been on order. You will see multiple orders, multiple record IDs on one, because orders will be separate to the actual time and date it was ordered, so that you know that you have multiple people ordering parts on the same issue, and you can track that information better instead of putting it all on one ticket and having to sort through that. This actually specifies who ordered it, when they were ordered, and keeps track of it in that manner. Purchase orders are obviously very important. Purchase orders are generated from our orders and RMAs panel. From there, once a purchase order and quantity has been approved and has been selected to be added to the purchase order, it'll show up here as an open purchase order. You can sort all these records by all the purchase orders that have ever been ordered, by open purchase, by on order, past 2 orders, received, canceled orders, and of course closed purchase orders that have been received into the system. It gives you plenty of information on purchasing and what the ticket was done, who is it ordered by, what equipment is ordered by. It also gives you information on your ETAs, and you can simply update your ETA with the new ATA, do receiving of that item into there, which automatically adjusts your orders. You receive one in, your quantity on order is going to decrease by one. Your main inventory is going to go up by one item, or however many is listed on the purchase order. You can also change statuses. You can cancel. An important note about canceling any ticket or any record within TrackLinq is you'll notice there's the X's are on different panels. If I was to cancel this order, I'm not deleting it out of the tracking database itself. It's actually just putting a tag on it that says this was canceled, will no longer be able to see. If you needed to go back and open it back up, it is still listed. Relational databases, by deleting records, will leave a orphaned record out there, or can leave an orphaned record out there, so you have data that's not linked anymore. And we prevent that by simply flipping tags or field numbers or field descriptors to no longer display that record in the open list. Purchase orders, you can create a purchase order from a record, or you can create a purchase order without a record. If your company wants to track every item that you order, you can simply do so by tracking or creating a purchase order and putting in a non-inventory part into that item, and you simply add what that part is, and you add your non-inventory item, and is added to the purchase order. If the purchase order came from a record, then you're going to have an associated ticket ID with it. If it came individually, like this, it's not going to have a record ID because you did not associate with them. You did not create that link between them, but the data is all still there. Purchase orders is a big module, big feature that will definitely go into more detail with another video. This page is subject to change. I'm in the process of redeveloping as we speak, but this gives you your list of all your employees, and you can add a new employee. You can assign roles to that employee, put in their login name. Passwords are encrypted and stored into the database. Never do they text does not go across the internet in any way, shape, or form. It's encrypted. It's hashed, so it's secure. All this information will create a new customer or new employee. As you can see, certifications, service history is not quite developed yet. That's coming real soon, and we'll take care of that. The idea on certifications is if you have technicians that are only certified on IBM equipment, for instance, and they've taken certified training from IBM and can work on that for warranty purposes. Manufacturers require that you be trained and you be certified in order to work on it. We'll have that information will all be listed in our certifications panel, so that you'll be able to say Bob can't work on this piece of equipment, but John can, and assign him properly. It keeps the legal issues down later. We also have, this is another page that's in development right at this moment. That's going to change, but allows you to change and create record statuses for your different fields, so that you can customize items to make them change to the way you want them to see. We don't know what your industry is, so we allow you to create fields and create drop-down boxes that make sense to you. So when you're looking at your information, you're able to customize this database down to something that's user-friendly for your particular business and your application. That is probably pretty much the end of our video. I understand it was long, longer than I thought it would be. I appreciate your time and your effort, and by all means, follow us on Facebook at TrackLinq BAS. You can go to TrackLinqsoftware.com and create a login and join the forums. Give us any suggestions, updates, what have you, and hopefully we'll get those in there. And as we say, our mission is, if the idea or suggestion is good, we will develop it and we will share it with the entire community. With that, you all have a great day, and I appreciate your time. Thanks.